everybody. If you guys don't know me, my name is Shannon. I'm the owner of Pink Dust Cosmetics. Today we're going to talk about brushes. Brushes are the most important thing when you do your makeup. It can be a game changer. You can have the greatest foundation, concealer, shadows in the world. If you don't have good brushes and you're not using them for the right things, then it will never turn out how you want it to. So jumping right in, here we go. We're gonna start with eyes. I always start with eyes before I do face because then when the shadow falls on your face, if it does, then you can clean it up before you move on to your face. So this is our complete, or our all about eyes, sorry, brush set that comes with all of the shadows you need to do whatever kind of look you're going for. Today we're gonna use that new, not out yet, hopefully in June it will be out, Everyday Matte eyeshadow palette. You guys are gonna love this. It's the best everyday palette that's like amazing for night and day. So it kind of has a little bit of everything what you need. So I always start with the skin tone color. I'm gonna use our medium blending brush. And I'm gonna use this color. That's kind of a good basic skin tone color for everybody. I already used light medium concealer all over my eyes as a base. And I'm just putting this all over my eyelid, under the brow, all the way down to my lid. This is just gonna be a super simple eye, just so I can show you guys what the brushes are for and how to use them. So you can kind of use any brush for this. I prefer a more dense brush just because it goes on faster and thicker and you get a better layer with it. Now I'm going to move to our large blending brush. So this is fluffier. This is what you want to use for the crease colors because it goes on smooth and it's easy to blend with. So I'm going to use this color. Sorry, this color. This is a good crease color for every day, or if you're gonna do a smoky eye or anything else, it's a good color to start with. So when I apply the color on the brush, notice how I only do it on one side. Because then when you're applying it to your eye, you have more control instead of it going all over your eye. And I'm just doing little circles in my crease and blending it up until I have it where I want it. I like to just do a little at a time, and then if you need to add more, add more. But it's good to kind of tap your brush off so you don't have a ton of product on there, and then keep adding more as you go, because then you won't have the problem of looking like a raccoon. So once you have that on and it's enough, then I'm gonna move to a little bit darker of a color, of a brown, or you can use purple, whatever color you want. And I'm gonna switch to our medium blending brush. So this is a smaller, more dense brush. So it's better for creases and to put the color right where you want it, and then you can blend after. So I'm gonna use the darker brown now. This is the darker one out of the two. And same technique, just put it on one side of the brush. And then right in your crease, you're just gonna pat it and put the color where you want it. And this will work for however dark you wanna go with your shadow. This is just one layer. And then if you wanna keep going darker and darker, you can just keep adding darker and darker with the same technique. And I'm just literally sticking the brush in my crease and just going side to side little motions just to get the color in there. And the same on the other side. And just pat it in. And keep adding more as you go until you get the depth that you want. Now for liner, I'm using the Luxe Cream Liner. This is the gel liner, and then our angled liner or brow brush. So this works with any brow balm or a gel liner, or it's good for just putting shadow under the eye to kind of define it. Make sure it's cleanly on the brush. And then just make little strokes around your eye, right on your eyelid, on your lash line. And keep adding more product as you go. Because if you have too little product on the brush, it will skip. And then once you have that one line, then you can build on it if you want to make it thicker or add a wing or whatever else you want to do. So once you finish that and you cleaned up your under eyes, if any shadow has fallen, we'll move on to face. This is the most important brush, well, one of them that you'll ever own. This is the Duo Fiber Concealer Brush. It is a game changer with concealer for under eyes. It just blends it so flawlessly and makes it so it doesn't sink into creases. You don't use too much product. It is really a big deal with concealer. So I'm using the Dual Action Concealer in light medium, and I start with just a little bit on the brush and then add as I go. A little bit does go a long way, but those dark circles, you gotta layer this on sometimes. So I'm just doing it right under my eye and bringing it a little bit under to blend it. So much better. The second most important brush alone, Duo Fiber Foundation Brush. This again is the same thing. It just blends it really flawlessly into your face and doesn't leave streaks, doesn't add too much where you look cakey, and it's easy to blend into your neck. Same thing, a little bit goes a long way. I just add a little at first and then buff it into your skin. I'm using Vanilla Cream in our Photo Touch foundation. I'm tan right now, so when I'm tan, I'll usually be Vanilla Cream. When I'm whiter, I'll be Cream Beige. These brushes are great too because they don't shed. I definitely have to blend this down into my neck though, because my neck is super white right now. Then I go back with a little more Dual Action Concealer. This is a little trick of mine for like a natural highlight. In the same brush, add a little bit more on your brush and then blend it into your cheekbone. So this just makes you look light and bright without having to do crazy steps with different foundation colors and blending. It just gives you a really pretty natural highlight and keeps you from having raccoon eyes if your foundation gets too white under your eyes. Next, the large stone brush. This is an all-around brush. You can use it for your powder, for your setting powder, for your under eyes, for your bronzer, for your highlighter. I recommend having a few of these because I like to keep my brush that I use for my bright eyes under my eyes separate from my face powder brush, just because I don't want them to blend and dilute each other. So I'm gonna start with Bright Eyes. Bright Eyes is a setting powder that you can use under your eyes and in your T-zone. It works for every single skin tone out there. It's translucent but enough coverage. I just pack it right under my eyes and kind of bring it up onto my cheekbone. So this will set your concealer all day and keep it from creasing, and it'll keep eyeshadow or mascara from falling underneath your eyes and smudging throughout the day. So I just do it there, and then I do a little bit on my nose and my T-zone. My nose gets really red, so I feel like this is like a good concealer for that too. And then I'm going to use cream color powder in the Mineral Powder Foundation. So this powder you can wear alone. I use it with a brush to set my foundation. If you want just very minimal coverage, it's a good powder just to wear by itself too. Next is our angled contour or blush brush. So I use this for both bronzer and blush. This is our baked bronzer. So I'm just gonna use this to kind of contour and make me look bronzed before I put my blush on. So you wanna just do this right around your cheekbone, having the darkest spot right next to your ear. This is gonna pull everything up and in. Then I just do little circles. So it goes on real even, but still gives you that contour that you're looking for. And sometimes contouring the nose ain't bad. And for blush, I'm gonna use Rose Gold Baked Blush, which is a really pretty bronzy color. It looks really good when you're tan. And you can add in brighter blushes with it as well to brighten it up if it's not enough color for you. I love this blush. And you just add it in right in the little hole almost where you ended your bronzer. So you're like filling in the half moon. I always go a little heavier on the blush, especially at first, because I feel like blush is the first thing that fades. So it's better if it looks heavier. And then for highlighter, you can either use the same brush or just go back to the large dome brush. This is Angelic highlighter. This is a little bit frostier than Glisten. Glisten's better when you're tan, but this one kind of is a little bit fancier, so you can see it a little better. Both are really pretty on every skin tone, depending on what you're going for. And then going back to eyes, I always do my mascara and my brows after foundation and face because I want it to be flawless, and sometimes I feel like it's a good base for everything. So I'm gonna take this again. I'm gonna use the darkest brown. This is our bullet brush. This is really good if you want a really deep crease or for underneath to smoke it out. Or you can use the angled brush for this too if you want it more precise. And just kind of rub it right into your lash line. Don't go all the way inside unless you're going for it. And it just gives you a little bit of depth. This is a good substitute for eyeliner underneath your eye because it still adds that depth to your lash line, but it looks more subtle than full eyeliner. So add a little brows, a little mascara. There you go. I hope you guys learned a lot and I answered a lot of questions you had about what brush goes with what. You can get all the brushes in our complete brush set, or you can get our eye set with all about eyes, or our face set with everything face, or they all come individually as well on pinkdustcosmetics.com. Thank you guys for watching.